I'm back at the factory because we've got some stuff I want to do over here today, and we're going to be spending most of the time over here today creating a little bit of, well, fun automation, and it might not be the most efficient thing in the world, but we're going to have fun with it because, as you know, this factory has a lot of automation in it already. Although, what I find is that I'm always out of medicinal brews because I haven't built the medicinal brew machine that I have a tutorial for, and I also don't have any large-scale farms besides the little bone meal farms, and I want to upscale that today, so let's go ahead and get started. Out here in front of the factory, I have some mints, and this is how I get most of the mints so far for all of the proteins and vitamins that I need to make and whatnot. And those things sell pretty fast, and I need even more of them as I'm working on more and more competitive teams here on the BattleCraft server. Now, luckily, we have a mod, right-click harvest. It's a really common data pack and mod that you can have, and in the BattleCraft pack, we have it, and it makes it so that if you right-click with a hoe, it simply farms the items here. And we can use this to our advantage, I believe, to do a little bit of automation. There's a few things I gotta test. I need to test and see if this works on berry crops of the same type. And then once we get that figured out, we're gonna build a little contraption, a little minecart contraption maybe, and it might be kind of ugly, but we'll put a building around it later if we need to. We're gonna expand the island this way today. So sit back and enjoy that. But one of the things I need to do first is a medicinal brewing machine because I'm always out of medicinal brews. Luckily, I have a tutorial on how to do it and a Lightmatica schematic ready to go. Well, look who just spawned in. I'm just logging on for the day. Gonna try to finish up an episode, and we got this bad boy sitting here. It's actually not that bad either. I really like Oddish and Vileplume. I think Vileplume's like Gen 1 sprite is probably one of my favorites from Gen 1. I just think it's very cute. Oddish is too, honestly. Okay, be easy to catch. Come on. Yeah, come on. You're gonna be difficult. Come on. All right, if I do it that way, it never has the chance to despawn, and I'm not gonna accidentally knock it out. So that's why I did it that way. There we go. Shiny Oddish. I'm gonna head back to the factory because I got some more work to do over there. Here's the schematic for the medicinal brew area, and I have a ton of space under this factory, which is kind of why I built the factory facade to be so large, is to afford myself some extra space in here so we can expand. And that's basically what I'm gonna do here. We're gonna place this medicinal brew machine here, and I'm going to, this is from Retro Spectacles, by the way. We're going to basically use this and paste it a few times in here so that I can have a bunch of medicinal brew machines set up, and I'll show it once I'm done. So I'm going to do something that I should have done a long time ago. Follow my own tutorials. Here we go. I believe I've followed my own tutorial correctly, and with the Lightmatica mod going, you can see this thing is going on and off, making medicinal brews. Hopefully I've done everything correctly. Well, I know I've done something correctly because it's producing medicinal brews, so there you go. Shaders back on, and again, I'll put the link to the tutorial for the medicinal brew machine and my factory in the description below, so if that's something you want, then check it out. But I've got a gym challenger that I've got to face today because Peep wants a rematch since last time he was unable to defeat me. So let's see if we have another gym challenger ready to go. Also, at this point, I've shown off my gym and the battles and stuff like for a month and a half now, so I'm going to skip through a lot of it. And if you want to see the full gym experience, I highly recommend you go check out Peep's video because I know they're going to put a lot of effort into their video and explaining their strategy. So, I'm just basically going to do a short rundown here. Peep came into my gym, ready for the new challenge. They had prepared some new aces, some new team members, ready to take on the challenge. But first, they had to get past the parkour. But as you guys know, Peep is a pro at Minecraft, so they had no problem at all doing this parkour. You got it, Peep. You got it. This is an easy one. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're home free now. You are home free, Peep. Oh. Sometimes construction workers need to work smarter, not harder. That's just part of the construction way. And when Peep finally made it to the Pokeball Battle tier, They were ready to take on the gym leader waiting for them and get the Foundation badge, the Ridgeview City badge. And I think one of the first gym badges given out on the server. First or second at least. Jblader was ready for the match, so let's hop into the first match. Peep's team featured a lot of starters, but starters are really strong and carry some strong type advantages, including the Rillaboom that has a grass advantage over my ground and rock types, and of course, Primarina, who has the water advantage. With the type advantages, Peep got off to an early lead. And I got to see Peep's new ace, a Lucario, and my nose pass was here to thunderwave everything in its path. And another new Pokemon, Chestnut, which has a great advantage over a lot of my Pokemon being defensively bulky and a grass type. And here we have two grass types facing each other for an epic... And here we have a grass type and what looks like a grass type. Look at them stare each other down in this epic matchup. And out came another one of Peep's new Pokemon, Surfetched. Soon I only had a Machamp left, and it was only a matter of time before Peep took the victory. So Peep took the victory, but there were 2 more matches left that they would have to win. They wanted that Foundation badge. So up next, it was the quiz. And the construction quiz would prove to be a little bit of a challenge for the music master, Peep. Not everyone knows the genius history of architects and constructors. I understand. But if you choose the right answers in this quiz, then you make it to the next tier, and eventually up to the top. And when you make it here, you'll find another Jblader waiting for the Great Ball tier challenge. Eventually, Peep found their way up here, and it was time for the next match. Of course, my second team focuses on earthquakes and hyper offensive attacks. Peep struggled at first dealing with the earthquake and heavy slam combos, but eventually they had some great type matchup advantages. And even though my Pokemon were defensive, big and strong, the type matchups proved to be too much, and my Golem fell, which meant another victory for the Peep themselves. But that still left one more match, the Ultra Ball tier, the undefeated team. And if you want to see Peep try to defeat this maze and then defeat my Ultra Ball tier team, then you've got to run over and check out their video. No spoilers here, but the team I'm using at this point was undefeated, as we saw last time with KC, so will the results be any different for Peep? Will all their training pay off? Will they finally be able to take the victory? If you want to find out, you've got to head over to Peep's channel and watch their newest video. But that's enough gym shenanigans for today. Let's head back to the factory and get some more work done over there. You are the bane of my existence. So sometimes you spend some time making something, and, you know, in theory, it's really great, and it does exactly what you want, and it should do exactly what you want all the time, because that's what Minecraft's about. It's about problem solving and trying things and building things and unforeseen circumstances. And this is one of those unforeseen circumstances where Cobblemon developers, why do you guys allow a Pokemon just to ignore the other mob spawning rules, right? It's like, why can't a Pokemon just spawn directly on a rail? And I get that it's like a rule for Magnemite to spawn around a rail or on a rail or near redstone, active powered redstone. Okay, I get it, okay? But when Pokemon can just spawn on blocks where they're not supposed to spawn, it makes farming stuff like this like basically impossible. Because they will just spawn here regardless of what is here, I think they'll even spawn on carpets and stuff. It kind of makes like farms like this really, really impossible to do. So like what I tried to do is obviously set up something where I can AFK overnight, put on a macro just to hold down right click like you see that I'm doing right now, stand perfectly still, and hopefully farm up a bunch of stuff, a bunch of berries. And it does work for a while until a Pokemon gets in my way, and then it no longer works. Despite that, I still was able to get hundreds of these berry items, which is a very good start, if I were to say so myself. So that contraption is a little bit of a disappointment. And stuff like this happens, and I was really hoping it would work. I'd be able to show it off and be like, guys, look what I did. But you know what? Stuff like this happens. So I fed everything that I got so far into the system. You can probably see up on my minimap, stuff is being fed in right now, and I've also just been letting this run actually for like a few hours, crafting stuff all day long, and we're out of some medicinal brews in some of these areas, but let me show you in my haul. Here we go. HP ups. Oh yeah, we got a lot of these. We got a ton of these. Irons, yes. Plenty. Yes. Look at these. Very much items. So, server members, if you need some, come over here and grab them, but I'm also going to be using these when I need them because we're going to be taking on some gyms myself soon, and I'll need to do some EV training. So I know this episode isn't as long as my usual ones, but I'm working on another project, another adventure map. And I want to put some more time into that and a little bit off of BattleCraft. And I also want to theory craft some more ideas for how I can kind of automate the farming here, because you see, like, this is working to an extent. Like, I can just let it grow and then come back over here maybe every hour or two and just go sit in the minecart, and it will technically do it for me. But the problem is this is not super like AFK overnightable to get the thousands of things that I would like. Is this overkill in general? Yeah, it is. It's overkill in general. But that's what Minecraft's about, guys. It's about the stupid overkill stuff, okay? And that being said, I actually didn't need to build another medicinal brew machine. Like, this medicinal brew machine is so productive that I can't even keep it loaded with glass fast enough. Like, I can't even really farm glass fast enough. So I've got more glass farming to do off camera, and I've got an idea for how we can solve that issue with the minecarts. But you're just going to have to go wait and see. This is a reminder. Check out everyone else on the BattleCraft SMP. Check them out. Watch their videos. Watch their live streams, because there's a lot of great creators on here doing cool stuff. And I also note Cobblemon developers mods, if you're watching. You guys make a fantastic free mod pack. Like, do not take my criticism to heart. It is just something mechanically that's a little frustrating from a technical point of view, but we love you. You're doing your best. We love that. See you next time, guys.